Hi, my name is Anastasia Miloslavskaya.
And I am Vasily Kamaldinov.
And today we'll be talking about one of the most interesting and creative functions in organizations, brands and design.
Why building a corporate brand is important for any business, regardless its size, and how can you measure its effectiveness, and how such a tiny thing as a font can contribute to brand perception.
We asked colleagues from our brand development team answer these questions and show some examples of their work. Let's take a look.
Kristina, tell us, what do you do in company?
I'm responsible for the brand development and brand strategy, basically. Me and my team are working on developing of communication principles, platforms, tone of voice, and creative development.
And how many people do you have in your team?
5. We have 2 senior managers, 2 specialists, and 1 creative copywriter. Just recently joined creative source in my team.
And can you tell me, please, what is brand for you?
You can ask a lot of people about brand, and each of them will tell you their own definition, and experts will have their own nuances there. I can tell that for me and how we define brand at Kaspersky as kind of intangible asset that makes different your product from others, that defines how it compares, and at the same time gives the set number of attributes in the people's mind. That helps to build a certain perception.
How do you measure it? Do you have any key brand metrics?
Yeah, we have 2 key groups of the brand metrics. One of them is brand awareness metrics, when we simply understand the customer know our brand in cybersecurity. However, this is hard to say, is it like positive or negative perception, as you might be aware about brand, but you don't like it. That's why together with the brand awareness, we measure also consideration and usage, how many of people who know our brand consider this for purchase and how many of them actually use it. That helps us to build a kind of the brand health funnel and understand the conversion from each step to another. And basically this gives an opportunity to understand where we have gaps or where we're strong enough and focus our marketing activities on this layer of the funnel. The second group of the attributes, this is the brand image attributes, and they are primarily the different statements about our brand, rational and emotional, that helps to build a certain perception. Some of them are quite hygienic, like trusted or good value for money, but when you look at them together with the competitors, that gives you an understanding where you are stronger, what is your point of the difference, and where competitors might perform better than you. And emotional, like beyond antivirus, brand for people like me. And when you look in the different age groups, you can understand for each age group your brand suits better, at least based on their perception. Insights team helps us with the brand health tracking researches. We make this separately for the B2C and B2B. There are different attributes and definitely different audiences. So we look at this separately, and we do it once per year. I have to say that the more often you have it, the better, so you can consistently review on how it's changing for the year. But in our case, we do it once per year, and still it helps to understand how brands change from year to another.
Do you think that brand development is crucial for each company?
Of course, this is one of the basic things for each company. However, I know some of the examples when company creates just a logotype or any symbol and think that it would differentiate them from competitors. Unfortunately, without brand attributes, without strong work of the brand managers and further development of the brand, that doesn't work like this, and it stays just a picture. So I believe that if brand wants to play on the highly competitive market, it requires the strong brand development, it requires the certain value proposition, understanding of how it compares, that helps actually brand to win on this area. Let me show you the brand room. Special place for my team. Here it is.
Let's take a look.
Ta-da!
It's so greeny.
Yeah, like fully in our brand colors, in innovative style, and this is the place where we have the team statuses, brainstorms, or just want to have some fun and play maybe some games. We'll do this here, and this place dedicated to make everyone who enters this room to feel more on brand, to understand it better, and to learn maybe something new for the future creations. This is the big map, the 2 years of the work of my team. We are really proud of this, as this is brand experience map. And if you would ask me what is brand experience, I will tell you that this is the second step of the rebranding itself. What we did, we started from the B2C part and analyzed together with Insights team the customer journey, starting from the first time when persons see our brand communication, when they consider to buy our product to the competitors, for the different stages of the customer journey. I'm really proud of this work because this could not be done just by one team. This is the collaborative work of the design team, brand team, product design team, marketing team, research. Almost the whole organization was part of this job. And right now what we have, the really big map, this is not the like step-by-step instruction. Basically, we use it as an inspirational tool. When you can look at the principles, you can look at some solutions that we propose to create new experiences or how to fix something there we are not really good. And you think how you can apply it to the different areas. If we're talking about marketing, if we're talking about product, if we're talking about design, communication, whatever. So they're quite flexible. At the same time, gives you an idea how you can challenge your work to make it better. But I have to say that this is really cool when you see that the whole company understands the importance of the customer experience and user experience and ready to work on the improvement of this. For the B2C and for B2B as well, as everyone see the benefit of it in the long term, how to improve acquisition and how to improve the brand experience in general.
Please introduce yourself and what are you doing at Kaspersky?
Sure. So I'm Nikita Morozov. I'm head of design in brand development team in Kaspersky. And I'm in charge of visual identity development for company, for brand, and also managing in-house design team.
So first of all, why brand identity is so important for corporations?
Right. I suggest to start with what brand identity is. Let's start with the basics. Design. Design is a fundamental need for the business. It helps to create products. It helps to convey different types of information to a specific audience, and this information is maybe very important from the business. Basically, design is everywhere. The way how different elements of the design work with each other, how they're connected, and the way how they are perceived by the audience, how efficient they are, is actually have an impact on the business. This is called a brand identity. It's a set of rules and tools that connects all the elements and help to maintain design quality and to save money for the business.
How exactly, for example, a font can work for brand, for business?
The font can make huge impact on the perception of the company. Font can deliver different characters, so it can be witty, playful, or strict, or vintage, and this all conveys different information to the audience. It's like a screwdriver. They are different and for different needs. So the proper typography can really help to deliver words with the most efficient way.
What about the criteria of the design? How to understand what design is good and what is not good?
It really depends on the business because different businesses require different designs. If we talk about corporate businesses, corporate brands, it's important to have design that is consistent, logical, understandable on every level of the structure, organizational structure. The application of this brand identity or this design is possible for different level of designers, of agencies, and so on. So for me, corporate brand design is very functional and understandable, first of all, from the conceptual idea till to all the small little elements like icons or shapes of the letters and so on. Basically, if the design system, the brand design system, is used properly inside the company and understood within the internal audience, it means it's a great design.
How do you understand what would work and what wouldn't work in each of them? For example, you receive something from your agency, and how to understand if it's good or not good?
There are two ways of judging and understanding if it works or not. Let's say digital and expertise way of judging. Digital is based on a quantitative test. I'm not a big fan of creating design just for the sake of great numbers, because it eventually makes a solution liked by everyone. So I'm personally rely on my own expertise of team and colleagues. A lot of things in design are about emotions, and the rule is if you're not satisfied with the picture, it doesn't work.
And what do you think? How many people is needed to make this great brand?
Depends on the scale of each company, as basically for the small teams, very talented brand manager could take the job. It's like more about the amount of the work and workload that you have and how many countries you present it, on which channels you present it. And the bigger the company, the bigger the team should be.
And talking about our company, we have two teams, brand design team and brand communications team. How do you organize the work between each other?
We usually work together on a different project. My team is primarily responsible for strategy, creative development, tone of voice, communication, and the whole part of the visual execution goes to the design team. And basically in each project you have two parts, what you say and how does it look like. We are about what we say, team is responsible for the visual part of it. We, depending on where the task came from, is it us who initiated the project or design team who lead this part, we take the different responsibilities within and share of the project. However, in each project required supervising from each team.
Let's talk about creativity.
Yeah.
Where do you and your team take inspiration?
I personally take inspiration from modern art, conventional art, and mostly from audiovisual part of it. This helps me to understand the trends and maybe to foresee the trends, upcoming trends. Also, we as a team and as people who are working with design always look around to other major players and big companies. There's a feel that there's a crisis like with the ideas at the moment in the corporate branding. Not so many great inspirational things can be found. That's why I think movies, architecture or contemporary art can be a great source of inspiration for designer in general.
Maybe any example, what did inspire you like very much?
We can talk about Vitol, which is a Russian artist. He creates a great piece of art, a combination of physical devices, software. It looks not only amazingly visually, but the way how it works is also very, very interesting. Spark in your head what can be done in your daily job, basically.
How do you think brand design, what you are doing, is it mostly an art or a conveyor?
Factory, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's closer to factory, to be honest, because we are solving business needs, business requests. But there's always a way of experimenting with some of the elements, and you can always try something new. And in these cases, you are trying to be more creative and artistic, moving away slightly from the standard approach. And coming back to the question, what is great brand design? It's always a balance between a set of consistencies and exclusion, and exceptional cases. So it's a right balance of these elements.
So, for example, you developed the style guide, you have all the templates, you have guidelines, and when you have everything ready, what exactly do you do in your day-to-day work?
Nothing. We just lay it down on sofas here and there. So the world is turning, and there is nothing set in stone forever. Each element of the brand identity have their own life cycle. Of course, you cannot change the logo or font every year. But if we talk about imagery, for example, visuals, maybe some illustrative elements, at some point we are trying to challenge this, challenge the standards, try to find a better way of visualizing things. We start to experiment. Not only my team, but other agencies, territory offices, and so on. This process should be aimed for improvement. You should not do some quickie stuff and put it online, because eventually bad for the business, because it will affect on the brand.
Okay, Kristina, and what can you advise to other brand managers?
Listen to the customers, first of all, and the most important. As soon as you join the company, you are not any more representative of the customer. You are an interested person, and your perception is a bit influenced by the company that you are working. So on each step of your project, you should find the points where you go to the customer and ask what they think, what they feel, and you correct your project based on these learnings. So customer insights and their feedback is the core. Without it, you are just isolated and based on your own opinion. That is not objective.